You don't want to deal with two chargers, a home charger and the portable charger? Well, then this is the one you need. This 2-in-1 from Daolar will do both. It is a high-powered home charger, but it's small enough and easy to carry in the bag that it comes with to take on road trips. This little charger has been pretty impressive since I pulled it out of the box. I have to say, there is not many out there that impress me, but this one is pretty darn cool. First of all, it came in this handy bag, and this is not just a cheap bag. Actually, the zipper feels pretty good, a little above what you usually get. Usually you got these cheesy zippers and you almost think they fail while you open it, right? Don't even think about closing it once you put the charger inside. And then usually those other bags, they're just skinny, just a single fabric. And well, it doesn't really protect the charger at all. This here though, this bag has padding. Has padding here on both sides as well as on these here on the narrow side. So that is pretty cool. And it is a decent size. So this charger fits really easy in there because the charger itself is also super small. But this charger is high power. I mean, when I pulled this out, it's like, wow, because this little charger, there's two versions. You can get one that puts out up to 40 amps, which is 9.6 kilowatts, or you can get a 48 amp. That's 11 kilowatts. That is like unheard of in a portable charger this small. This is really great. And it's got many other features as well. So let's take a closer look. Well, let's start with the J1772, the Type 1 plug here. I mean, it looks solid, it feels solid, it's got a good strain relief. I dropped it a couple times, it doesn't hurt it at all. And it's got a good feature. So on all these J1772s, you got this little latch right up here. And when you drop the plug and this falls onto that latch, these latches have a tendency to break. I actually have one that even had a metal latch. It's an old charger, but the metal latch broke. Now here with this one, there is this little cover over it, this little protection. That is perfect, so it doesn't break as easy. I mean, I never seen that before, and I really like that. Also, usually you kind of see the lever going through here, and on the other end it sticks out, right? But here, you got a nice button. I mean, it's really cool. I think, well, it's a little better than most. And it holds great here. It feels good in the hand. It also comes with a cover, but it's not just a cheap cover. Actually, if you look inside the cover, you can see that it is shaped just like the plug, and it will enclose each individual pin. And not just that, as you push it on, the cover actually up here, it latches in place. It doesn't just hold because it's rubberized and sticks on there. No, it's held by the latch. So you gotta actually press so you can pull it off again. So this cover is not gonna come off and certainly protect each individual pin in there from water or debris. So, I mean, this was pretty impressive. I have not seen this before. Well, let's go backwards towards the charger. Here we got the cord. 7.5 meters, 25 feet. It feels pretty flexible. I don't think it's gonna get really stiff even in the cold. It's a not super thick size, but it looks heavy duty. I've been dragging it along the ground here, and yeah, it does just fine. Also, then it comes with this here. This is probably the least impressive part of it. This is basically your hanger for the cord as well as a holster, so you can put your plug right in there, just like that. So that is kind of, yeah, cheesy in a way because you can't separate the holster from the hanger. I like them if you can separate them, because you might want the holster somewhere else. And the hanger is not huge. So the way I have it coiled right now, we got what, 3 times going over it, and it's basically full. So that's probably the least impressive part of all, but heck, the other parts make up for it. So then we get to the charger itself here. So this little charger, oh, by the way, it comes with this little Velcro thing. So when you coil the cord up to put it in the back, you can use the Velcro to hold your cable in place. But so anyway, the charger is relatively small. It is one of the smallest I've seen for the amperage that it has. And well, it doesn't just have 1 amperage. No, you can start at 10, go to 16, to 24, to 32, to 40 amps. And then there's even a version that is exactly the same, but it goes to 48 amps. And it's all adjustable. As simple as pressing this button that says A. And you can see on the display on the bottom right, it will show you what the amperage is that it is at. All you have to do is adjust it before you plug in. Then plug in and it will charge at that amperage. So that is really cool, which this is mostly what you probably need for traveling. So when you travel and you use adapters here on the NEMA 1450, then if you use adapters and who knows, maybe you're going to a 630 or something, and so you need to lower to 24 amps, you can do that right there. So pretty simple. Also, this can work as a level 1 charger. It even works on 120 volts. So if you have an adapter where you can go from the NEMA 1450 to a regular household outlet to 120 volts, then you can actually use that at 120 volts as well. Obviously, you need to adjust your amperage down to the 10 amps. So, and by the way, I made my own adapter to do so, because going from a NEMA 1450 to a regular household outlet for these chargers, the adapter has to be different than what you would buy for an RV. Because the NEMA 1450 is also known as RV plug, 50 amp RV plug, and they make adapters down to the 15 amp household outlet. But these adapters are different. For chargers, you need a specific kind of adapter, and I made my own. If you want to know how to do it, let me know down below in the comments. I can make a video about that. It's pretty simple to do. You probably could make your own if you wanted to do so. But in any event, this is a level 1 and a level 2, and it goes from 10 amps all the way up to 48 amps. I mean, most home chargers are going to 40. This one can go up to 48. Now I gotta tell you, because it has a NEMA 1450, you should not run it at 48 amps for very long. Because continuous draw on a NEMA 1450 should not be above 40 amps for an extended period of time. Now that said, you come home real quick, you gotta go in, change, run back out and leave, but you need a little charge. You got 10, maybe 15 minutes. You could set it to 48 amps and charge your car as fast as possible. That won't hurt anything, but don't let it go for an hour or longer, okay? Because I tested it. After about 45 minutes, the outlet itself got hot. I mean, really hot to the touch. So don't run that if you get the 48 amp version. The 48 amp setting is basically only for a short period of time, like 10-15 minutes max, okay? So, and if you don't want to run into the risk of accidentally setting it wrong, and you don't really need the 48 amps, you don't really need the 11 kilowatts, then just go for the 40 amp version of this charger. Then you won't have that problem. And the 40 amp version, the 48 amp version, they're exactly the same. They have all the same functions. The only difference is one's 9.6 kilowatts, the other is 11 kilowatts output. So, all right. What else is cool about this? Well, look at it. It's nice and blue, right? I like the colors. And so it's easy to see. Blue is the charger is powered up. Nothing's going on. As always, red is bad, okay? If you get red, something's wrong, okay? Then you want to see what's going on. And then if we want to go and actually charge, then we will see green. So let's do that real quick. But since we have our Tesla here, guess what? J1772 doesn't fit on a Tesla. Tesla has the NACS, the NACS. And so we need the adapter that came with a Tesla. But this charger, it will charge any EV that has a J1772 or any Tesla. No problem. Just use the adapter that came with your Tesla. All right, here we have our adapter. Plug it in, lock it in place. There we go. Immediately the charger goes to green because everything's wonderful here. We got a green blink on the Tesla. And look at this. We got a cool green running light here. So, I mean, that is, I like it. I like the colors they chose here. That's pretty cool. And it's a little different than others where they just have a straight up and down or something. So, also on the display here, you have an LCD display. And on the display, you can see obviously the amperage that you have it set to. But also the display has a color thing going. And so right now it's kind of going from blue to reddish, orangish, pinkish, green. It looks pretty cool. And it tells us the voltage, which 230 volts. And it tells us the amperage that it is going at, which is 40 amps right now. The display is relatively small. It's just over 2 inches. But you don't usually need to look at that very long. You just do your adjustment with the pressing the amperage button, and you can easily see that on the bottom. It will also show you the power. Right now it shows 9.3 kilowatts. That's what we got going. So we're set to 40 amps. Then it shows you the kilowatt hours that it delivered and the temperature of the unit in Celsius. Okay, it shows 43 C right now on here. And this unit is temperature protected. So if this overheats, it will shut down. It will not just shut down, it will actually first limit the power flow. And if the temperature keeps rising, it will shut down. So even if you put this somewhere where it's hot and you're running full blast here and this unit gets really hot, it's not just going to shut down on you. It will limit the power flow. It will keep charging. And like I said, unless the temperature keeps rising, it will just keep going at a lower rate. So that is really cool. It also has all the usual other protections like over voltage, under voltage, over current protection, ground protection, all this stuff, just like all these chargers basically do. So, what other features do we have? We already talked about the amperage that you can adjust here. Next to it, you have a button with a clock. And at first, I thought, well, that is delayed charging, right? I come home and I press that and it goes up. And I believe it goes up to 10. And I thought, oh, that's delayed charging. But then I found out, even though I pressed the button a couple times, it would charge right away. It's like, huh, that's weird. Well, maybe one should read the manual, right? So, this is actually not delayed charging. This is a timer for how long you want to charge. And at first I'm going like, well, why do you really need a timer? And then it came to me because there is quite frequently a time when we come home, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon, right? And we may have to leave again in the evening. But at 5, our electricity gets really expensive. So we don't want to charge past 5. Usually we have the car set so they charge in the middle of the night. But maybe we come home with a low state of charge and we want to charge at least till 5. And in case we have to leave again, we got some power in there, right? So if we come home at 3, pull in here, it's like, oh, maybe we have to leave, we're low. Well, let's set this to 2 hours. So we can charge for 2 hours till 5, and we'll get however much we get. And in case we have to leave, we at least have something, right? In 2 hours, usually, depends obviously on the car a little bit. You can get around 10%, depends on your car. The bigger the battery, okay, the less you get in an hour. The smaller the battery, the more you get. So, but roughly 10% you can get in an hour. So we can add 20% real easy from 3 to 5 in the afternoon using this timer. And if we don't go anywhere, then that's fine. It will just shut off at 5 and I don't have to pay the high electricity rates. Well, now you could say, why don't you just turn it off at 5 then? Well, because I forget. I mean, I'm busy, I'm doing stuff, and who the heck thinks about it at 5 to go out and unplug the car or turn the charger off, right? So this timer comes in really handy for things like that. So, but now you're saying, well, I'd rather have a delay. Well, you can have a delay, because this charger actually has its own Wi-Fi network. It broadcasts a Wi-Fi signal. And you can use your cell phone. So all you do on your cell phone is you go into your settings, into your Wi-Fi settings, and you have your usual network there that you see at home, your own. But then there will be one that says RVD-CD blah, 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 okay? That is this one right here, okay? So what you do is you connect to that Wi-Fi network. So you disconnect from yours, just tap onto this. It will tell you it's weak security. Well, yeah, you're standing right next to it and it's not like a huge signal, so it doesn't matter. But so it's totally fine. It will also tell you there is no internet connection. Well, yeah, we're connecting to the charger and not to the internet. So now your phone is connected to the charger, so we can access the charger for the other features. So how do you get to the charger? Well, you actually just open an internet browser that you have on your phone, which whenever you prefer. And then it'll look up in the manual, there is an IP address, and you type this IP address in, and that takes you to the website that this is broadcasting right now. I have it here on my shortcuts, and I can just tap it, and then it pops up. So, and here I can basically see the same thing. I can see what I can see here on the display: 230 volts, 40 amps, 9.3 kilowatts. The box is 45C. We have 1.5 kilowatt hours so far. We're charging, going 10 minutes, all this usual, right? So same thing you see on the display, you can see here, but there is more to it. So at the very bottom, it usually tells you what you need to do. Like in this case, pull out the charging gun to stop. So if I want to stop charging, obviously I just press the button and pull it out. That's as simple as that. But then we have a mode, and we have a charge time, and we have a begin time, okay? So on mode, currently I have it on hold. Charge time, there is no setting. Begin time, there's start now. If it's set like this, that means you plug in, it will start. So, and currently, because we are charging, I can't adjust anything. Just like here, I cannot adjust while it is charging. So we have to stop charging. Here we go. All right. And now I have the options here. So I can press hold, and then I can choose my amperage, whatever I want. If I'm on hold, it takes the amperage that I have right here, that I have set on the charger itself, okay? But I can change it from the app. So then I got charge time. So here I can adjust from 1 to 10 how many hours I do want to charge. This is a timer, the same as here, okay? So mode is the amperage, and it actually says that here in parentheses. Charge time is the clock, which it says here hours. So we got that. And then we got the begin timer. So here, and this is a little tricky because it goes from 0 to 23. So you actually choose the hour when you want to start, okay? And well, Americans, they're used to AM and PM 1 to 12, and here it's, well, from Americans it would be like military time, I guess. So it goes from 0 to 23. So 0 would be midnight, 23 would be 11, 15 would be 3 in the afternoon. Okay, so you can choose your hour. Oh, now it tells me turn off the auto start. I'm not smart enough to use this, but at least this tells me. So if I want to use that setting, I got to turn off the auto start and enable and con start in the settings. Okay. So it's still on start now. So I got to go to the settings, which we got up at the top. There is auto start. Let's disable that. The con start is already disabled. And by the way, here you just see a few things, including the change password. So there is a given password. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so if you don't want anybody else to access your charger, if they know the IP address, they can access your charger. So you want to change that password, by the way. But yeah, anyway, so we got both here disabled. Then we use the back button. We go back. We open the start now. And then we hit a time, and then it says here a warning: in some cars, after inserting the charging cable, if the charging is not started within a short period of time, the car may automatically turn off the charging function, making the charging port inactive, resulting in this function not being able to be used normally. If the car does not support this function, please select start now. Okay. We haven't had any issues with the Tesla. I was able to select the start time here and plug in, and the car would start charging whatever time I set the charger to, and it would stop when it reached the set charging level. So for us, that has not been a problem. Obviously, there may be an issue somewhere. Every car is a little bit different depending on the settings in your car that may affect this. But for us, it has worked just fine. The car, once it's plugged in, the car is just waiting for the charger to turn on, and no problem. So, but anyway, so we got the hour set. You can also set the minutes in 5-minute increments. So if you want to start charging at 8:05 or 8:15, you can set that as well. No big deal. I tested that function, works wonderful. And then, so you can combine the charging start with the charging time. Or you can just, the charging start and the car will stop it when it reaches a set level. However you want to, you have all the options here by just accessing this. And once you have a certain menu enabled, it just stays enabled. Okay, so if you have a certain charging time start here, next day you're coming back, you plug back in, it's still the same, and it will start again. So we haven't had any issues with that. It works wonderful. So that was pretty cool for us now, so that I'm not messed up here. We're going back to start now. And I'm gonna set the charging time to no setting. I want to set it to hold so I can adjust my amperage here. Otherwise I might get confused, you know. Now it's really simple. So yeah, and there is no real pairing needed between your phone and this. Like I said, you just set it to the charger's Wi-Fi. You put the IP address in, which is 192.168.4.1. Okay, put the password in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you're in. Then change the password for your charger in your phone here, in the settings where it says change password, so that you have your own password so nobody else can access your charger here. Yeah, so we've been testing this for few weeks now, and it worked great. Like I said, I really like it. It hasn't caused us any trouble. All the functions are working. Like I said, the least impressive is probably this bracket, which is nothing. Come on, I mean, who cares, right? That's the least impressive thing about it. It is a little weird that you need to change your Wi-Fi to access the charger in a way. So the disadvantage of that is it does not actually connect to your home network. So you cannot access your charger from anywhere else but home, or well, but right next to it. Doesn't matter where you're at. It's a portable charger, so you can be on a campground somewhere, at a friend's house, wherever you power this up, your phone can then connect to it. So that's probably the reason that they chose to go that route, because if you pair it at home, but then you go somewhere else, then you have no access with the app anymore because your network's not there. Then you would have to pair it to another network where you're at. So this way you can just open this Wi-Fi network and you have access to your charger regardless of where you're at. Well, like I said, I've been impressed with this thing from the beginning. And this is your home, just like it is here, or portable. And portable, all you do is this. You just slide it out of the bracket stays at home. When you come back home, you slide it back in. It's as simple as that. I mean, really cool. The bag is cool, padded, plenty big size. By the way, it comes with the hardware that you need to install the bracket and the cord hanger here. So it's all there. 7.5 meters, 25 feet of cable. That is plenty. If you have a 2-car garage, you can reach from one side over to the other side and still reach your car. You can reach outside and reach a car outside. So this is a great length. 25 feet is perfect. Like I said, very impressive. And now it gets better. This is not like a $600 charger for 40 or 48 amps. No. Currently, this is listed at $329 for the 40 amp and $349 for the 48 amp charger. That is pretty impressive. I mean, tell me another home charger for that little money that can go up to 40 or even 48 amps, and then you just put it in your bag and take it with you when you go somewhere once, twice, 3 times a year or whenever you need it. Other than that, you just leave it at home, because why carry it in your car when you're going for and back to work every day? You don't need to bring a charger. Why have a second charger laying around somewhere? This one does both. It's a high-powered wall connector basically right here at home, and then it becomes a high-power mobile charger that you can take with you. Yeah, really cool. And like I said, I've been impressed with this thing. This is different here, this gun, the protection here for the lever, I like that. The size of it is great. I like the color scheme too. The display is nice. And by the way, the display falls asleep after a few minutes, which you don't need the display to be powered up the whole time. You're not standing there all the time. So it takes a few minutes, then it goes dark. And when you come back and you want to see something, you just press one or the other button, and then it will light up. It will not change your setting by pressing a button. It will just light up. And for us, we actually left this here plugged in the whole time. So right now, the way it sits with blue, it's plugged in, but it's not charging. And that's how we had it the whole time. And I left it out here for days being plugged in. And yeah, we come back, and whenever we need to charge, we plug the car in. And then it works. And it's on the settings that you have set before. Yeah, it's just... well, I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. Also, this housing here, the front, is a little bit, it feels a little bit rubberized, so I don't think it would get hurt too much if you drop it. Obviously, you don't want to necessarily drop it. But yeah, I really like this charger. And like I said, you can purchase adapters online, not from the company itself, not from Daolar itself, but there are other adapters out there for EV chargers. So you can, rather than just using it on an EMA 1450, I don't know, maybe your friend that you're going to, or your parents you're going to, or whatever, has a 650, an EMA 650, so you can get an adapter for that, or a 630, or whatever. There's so many different ones. You can purchase those adapters online, And if you're interested in learning on how to make an adapter from a NEMA 1450 to a regular household outlet, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you're interested in that. I'll make a video about it to show you how that works. Important is these adapters for chargers, they only work for chargers, so you can't use it anywhere else. So if you make that adapter, it would only work for your EV charger. You couldn't use it on your RV or anything, okay? But yeah, leave a comment down below what you think about this charger. Let me know if you want to know how to make an adapter from NEMA 1450 to a regular household outlet so you can use any charger at a level 1, as long as the charger that you want to use as a level 1 is actually capable of doing so. This particular charger does do 120 and 240 volts, so here you can use it. Not every charger can, so you want to make sure. But like I said, this is a great value at $329 for the 40 amp 9.6 kilowatt charger, or at $349 for a 48 amp 11 kilowatt charger. And at at 40 amps, you're adding quite some charge quickly to your car. If you have a Chevy Bolt, you're probably adding 14-15% an hour real easy. So it goes pretty quick, and you can be up from, I don't know, 20 to 80% in about 4 hours real easy. So no big deal. This charger can easily charge any car overnight, not a big deal. So yeah, there's a link down below in the description. Go click on that link to check this charger out. And let me know what you think about this charger. Let me know what you think about a charger like this actually going 48 amps with an NEMA 1450. That is an interesting combination. I have not seen that before, and like I said, use this feature only for like 10-15 minutes real quick and not any longer, because you're basically overloading the circuit if you want to do this continuous charging, okay? Because the NEMA 1450 is only rated at 40 amps continuous, but for 10, maybe 15 minutes, you can do that real quick. All right, in any event, give us a thumbs up for this video. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the future videos. Also, go down below in the description. Hit the link to our Redbubble store. We got some t-shirts and stuff there. Maybe you'll find something you'd like. Well, in any event, thank you for watching. Goodbye.